But then how many oil painters paint like masters? The saving thing about children, and how we need to emulate them, is that they will and can use anything that comes to hand. So does the prisoner in his cell. I forget now in which prison it was in England, or was it Scotland, that my friend Barsai, the photographer, discovered graffiti, the like of which he had never seen anywhere. And then there are the insane. What marvelous drawings and paintings have been produced by these unfortunate devils. What technique, if we want to talk technique. Strange how little attention is given nowadays to the art of the insane. Since the days of Morton Prince, I don't know when I have seen a book giving illustrations of their work. What has happened is that the work of our accredited artists has assumed qualities and aspects borrowed from the insane. I am talking, it should be understood, not of the results produced under therapy, but of the products of compulsion and obsession manufactured day in and day out, often without food or sleep, by those solitary ones who are caged like beasts. Where, one may ask, do these unfortunate creatures get the strength and the inspiration to carry on as they do? One should bear in mind, of course, that they do not have to earn a living, that they are not concerned about their health, nor do they worry about hygiene, that they feel no shame or guilt concerning their misconduct, that they do not have to keep up with current events, that atom bombs mean nothing to them, nor cold wars and hot wars, not even the imminent stampede to the moon. How the artist must envy them at times, and how dangerously close at times he comes to behaving and thinking like them. Certainly the surest way to kill an artist is to supply him with everything he needs. Materially, he needs but little. What he never gets enough of is appreciation, encouragement, understanding. I have seen painters give away their most cherished work on the impulse of the moment, sometimes in return for a good meal, sometimes for a bit of love, sometimes for no reason at all, simply because it pleased them to do so. And I have seen these same men refuse to sell a cherished painting no matter what the sum offered. I believe that a true artist always prefers to give his work away rather than sell it. A good artist must also have a streak of insanity in him, if by insanity is meant an exaggerated inability to adapt. The individual who can adapt to this mad world of today is either a nobody or a sage. In the one case, he is immune to art, and in the other, he is beyond it. Thinking back to the year 1928, when I first began making watercolors, it seems to me that if I had not discovered this outlet, I would have gone insane. My writing was getting me nowhere fast. My domestic life was a shambles, and my ability to panhandle had become nil. When I found what the left hand can do, the left hand is the dreamer, I became active as an ant. I painted morning, noon, and night, and if I ran out of paint, I used crayons, pencil, or hunks of coal. Coal on blood-soaked butcher's paper always yields something interesting. Though my mind was intensely active, for I was seeing everything in a new light, the impression I had was of painting with some other part of my being. My mind went on humming, like a wheel that continues to spin after the hand is let go, but it didn't get frazzled and exhausted as it would after a few hours of writing. While I played, for I never looked on it as work, I whistled, hummed, danced on one foot, then the other, and talked to myself. Jolly talk, what I mean, as if there was someone beside me, watching me, egging me on. If a crony stopped by to unload his woes, I continued to paint while pretending to listen. Sometimes I would offer to do his portrait, for a pack of cigarettes, 2 bits, even a dime. Some of my friends, catching my infection, joined me in these painting sprees. Sometimes a group of us would be doing one another's portraits simultaneously. And while we slaved away, always merry and bright, we would discuss the painters we revered. During these seances, we thought nothing of revising one another's work. The one who could do noses or ears well, or feet or hands, would doctor up the noses, ears, hands, and feet of all the others. We were learning in our own fantastic way, and it was fun. Now and then it was suggested that we get models to pose for us, but none of us had the means for such a luxury. Besides, it didn't take us long to realize that the presence of a nude female would only deflect us. So, in lieu of a good sensuous piece of live pink flesh, we would slip a coat over a chair and try to catch all the wrinkles, shadows, textures, herringbone effects, and whatnot. Or we'd do hats. Hats were my specialty, particularly slouch hats, which were worn and greasy. Coats, hats, shoes, whatever we fixed on, gave us a kick. Maybe the painting was only an excuse to stay indoors, where it was warm and cozy, to stop looking for work. We were none of us respectable citizens, or to indulge in fertile talk. We weren't trying to get anywhere. We were there, were we not?